In the 8 or so years that RPM has been going, we've had a number of different kinds of long-term test cars from a bunch of different manufacturers. But we've never had anything from Opel. That's probably because when we started out, they were going through a rather unfortunate decline. And now that they're going through a rather impressive resurgence, we figured the timing was right to get one of their products into our long-term garage. That product is the Mokka, the company's first compact SUV that's looking to cash in on what is a very popular section of the market. Opel's new products have got themselves a reputation of being, first and foremost, good-looking things, and this chunky bit of car is no different. For a compact SUV, this car has a presence that's not very compact. It has very strong elements front and rear, and what I really like about it is the fact that Opel haven't just cut and paste styling elements from the Corsa or the Astra. The Mokka has a face that's all its own. The rear is a little reminiscent of a SsangYong Corando, but overall it's an attractive thing that we'll be quite happy to have parked in our long-term garage. Its size obviously endows it with a measure of load-carrying ability as well. Although we'd never miss an opportunity to hit the road for an adventure somewhere, chances are that space will be used for more everyday type adventures. We've had a number of compact and not-so-compact SUVs as long-termers, and we found that they've come in useful more for carrying loads than getting away for a weekend outdoors. And no doubt we'll ask the Mokka to do similar sorts of jobs, and when we do, we'll have 785 litres of boot space to fill. Although if you ask the Mokka, it'll probably tell you it's more about comfort and toys rather than practicality. The standard kit in our Cosmo Spec test car is impressive, with everything from heated leather seats to park distance control, Bluetooth, cruise control and dual-zone climate control. The layout has its good and bad points, the materials are all nice enough, and there are some unexpected design touches like the metal look inlays. But there are a lot of buttons, making for a very crowded interface. I guess we've got a few months to find our way around it though. We've also got a few months to enjoy this engine. The 1400 turbo with 103 kilowatts and 200 newton meters is already quite impressive. It's got enough power to shift the Mokka along at a pleasing rate, and it's only done just under 2,000 k's, so it should get better. Hopefully though, the fuel consumption will also improve, because at the moment it's showing way over 10 litres per 100 k's, which isn't that good for a small engine. Of course, giving the Mokka the chance to head out on a few of those road trips I mentioned earlier will certainly help with that cause. The 1400 turbo is the only engine option at the moment, but there is a choice of either a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic gearbox. There's also the option of 2 spec levels, and we've got the higher of the two. Although I do think there are some features that will be used less often than others. For example, the steering wheel heater will probably be called into action less often than the integrated Stitcher app. Stitcher is a smartphone app for podcasts, and it's built into Opel's IntelliLink system. Download the app, plug in your phone, and you get access to thousands of podcasts. You could achieve a similar result simply by using the Bluetooth streaming, but having the app as part of the onboard system means you can select channels and podcasts just like you would a radio station. No phone in hand necessary. As for off-road ability, well, there isn't really any to speak of. It might have the higher ride setup of an SUV, but it's not going to tackle much more than a normal dirt road or the occasional Joburg pothole. It's only front-wheel drive, and it doesn't even have any quasi-off-road systems. It doesn't even have hill descent control. But as we all know, these things may look like they're ready to take on mud and rocks, but chances are they'll be spending their lives taking on shopping malls and traffic jams. The initial impression is that this compact SUV will be good to live with in those situations, thanks to things like the start-stop system and park distance control with reversing camera. And we'll get to use those and sample the rest of this car's talents over the next few months. Just like all our long-term cars, of course, we'll bring you regular updates on life with the Opel Mokka. The 1400 turbo motor is the only option in the Mokka lineup, and although it feels pretty strong already, it should loosen up and deliver better all-round performance. That should also help fuel consumption, which is currently on the high side. It is a very well-spec'd compact SUV with the kinds of tech you might expect to find in a higher price bracket. The busy dash layout will take some getting used to though.